Hare Krishna. Welcome to the question and answer session on chapter 13 of the Bhagavad Gita. The first question by Shri Pradeep ji. Namaste Guruji. Very well detailed explanations. Thank you. My first question is on the number of elements. On Sthula sharira, Pancha Mahabhuta is very clear. So again the same explanation. The remaining 6 as I read were 5 pranas and Chitta. But here these are indicated as Prakriti and 5 objects of senses. Please clarify. So it is very specifically stated in 13.6 of the Bhagavad Gita that the 24 elements that constitute the entire material cosmos, universe and the material body are 24 in number, and they are Mahabhutani ahankaro buddhiravyaktameva cha indriyani dashekam cha pancha cha indriya gocharaha. So the first 19 items are very clear. The 5 elements, whether they are the 5 pranas. So here in the Bhagavad Gita it is stated specifically, it is Panchacha Indriya Gocharaha, the 5 objects of the senses, which are sound, form, taste, smell. So these are the 5 the rest of the 5 elements and not the pranas. It is also explained very elaborately about these 24 elements in the 3rd canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam by Lord Kapila Deva in his explanation of Sankhya Yoga, and again the same exact 24 elements have been explained, and the 25th element, which is beyond these 24 elements, is the Jeevatma, and then there is also the 26th element beyond even the Jeevatma, and that is Paramatma, the super soul. The second question, Guruji, could you please elaborate on intuition or guidance from Paramatma and how do we sense it? I have heard that if you get rid of negativity and surrender to Paramatma, you get guidance. So Paramatma, yes, the intuition that we get from Paramatma, we may also get intuition from our ahankara or even from the Jeevatma. So intuition can be, the source of intuition can be from various things. It can be even from our mind or intelligence, or from ahankara, or directly from the spirit soul, or from the Paramatma. So how do we identify which intuition is coming from which source? So this is a very difficult matter, especially when we are in karma bandhana, when we are in samsara bandhana, when we are in this material world, in bondage of kala, karma and guna. So one should be properly guided by the acharya, upasanam, by the acharya, by the guru, and then the Guru being the direct representative of Paramatma. So when we follow the directions and the instructions as given by the bona fide Guru or Acharya, at that time we are actually following the directions of the Paramatma. The next question, why Parabrahma can't be called Sat? Parabrahma can be called Sat, but Sat is not the complete realization of Parabrahma. The complete realization of Parabrahma is Sat, Chit and Ananda. The next question, although you have explained the difference between Paramatma and Bhagavan, which is of Ananda in the latter, that is in Bhagavan, still it is not clear why Paramatma can't include Ananda. So a very technical question. Actually, the Paramatma in the heart has a very specific role and function to play, and this is very specifically mentioned in 13.23 of the Bhagavad Gita as Upadrashta Anumanta cha Bharta Bhokta Maheshwaraha Paramatmeti chapyukto dehesmin purusha paraha. The Paramatma, the Lord in the heart, he is the overseer and the one who gives permission, Anumantacha, the approver, and he is also the Lord, and he is the supreme witness of all our actions and all our thoughts. So this is the limited role of the Paramatma. So he is aware, he is fully conscious, he is in complete knowledge of the thoughts and actions of all the living entities. He is the overseer and he is also the approver. But Paramatma per se is not the one who engages in loving interactions between the Jeevatma and the Parabrahman. For that, the Swarupa of Parabrahman is that of Bhagavan, and therefore Bhagavan is called Leela Purushottama, and he engages in infinite and unlimited leela or pastimes with his innumerable and infinite pure devotees, even in the spiritual world. So in the spiritual world, actually there is no Paramatma, because Paramatma in the material world is present with the Jeevatma. He is hiding because we have turned away from God and we have come here to this material world because we want to avoid God. We have left God and come, but still, just like one may leave one's father and home and go away, still the father is concerned and may keep an eye on the lost, misdirected child. Likewise, the form of the Lord who accompanies the rebellious living entity that has turned away from the Supreme Lord is the form of Paramatma. Whereas in the spiritual world, no one has turned away. Everyone is completely conscious and engaging in loving service of the Supreme Lord. So there is no need for Paramatma to be conscious of everything. I mean, there directly one relates with Leela Purushottama Bhagavan, who is the embodiment of infinite Ananda. And how is this Ananda relished? It is relished in Leelas with the pure devotees. So the Leelas of Bhagavan with his pure bhaktas in the spiritual realm is the real basis of Ananda. So whereas Paramatma does not participate in Leelas with the Jeevatmas, he is mainly, his function is that of an overseer and approver. So therefore, Bhagavan is the complete embodiment of Ananda. The next question, Guruji, I want to highlight a dichotomy. If Prakriti is the doer and not Atma, Paramatma or Bhagavan, then why should one have attachment, ego, greed or fear of something which is not ours? Does that mean we live false existence, don't have right knowledge, and so we don't have bliss or Ananda? So if we focus on Atma and Paramatma within us as per Shloka 34 in 13th chapter, as well as in others, and consider Prakriti as the doer, we will have right Sat Chit leading to Ananda and liberation as per 35. Please clarify. So actually in our present condition in samsara bandhana, in bhautika bandhana, in material bondage, the root cause of our material bondage is that when we turn away from the Supreme Lord, we take on our original constitutional position is that of being an eternal part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, and thus being an eternal servant, dasa of the Supreme Brahman. But when we come to this samsara, we have to take on a false identity as the master of everything that I survey, that I am the Lord, I am the master. So like this, innumerable jivas come to this samsara and take on the false identity, and that false identity is called ahankara. So there is a real identity which is aham brahmasmi, and the false identity is ahankara. So this ahankara is the link between spirit and matter. spirit and matter are connected by this false ego or ahankara, and because everyone in this material world is situated in ahankara, they have a false conception of life, and because of this we have a false identity which leads to false knowledge and false ananda. So everything in that way is false. So we are therefore leading a life of asat, achit and nirananda. Whereas when we again become self-realized and understand that actually Prakriti is doing everything and Ahankara is that link, the connection which has made us bound to these material Prakriti, then we can understand the interactions and we can be situated in the self and be connected with the Supreme Lord, with the Paramatma in Bhakti, with Bhagavan, and in that way we come to the real platform of Sat, Chit and Ananda. The next question by Shri Krishnaya Shetty ji. Hare Krishna Guruji, excellent description of kshetra and kshetrajna. Thank you very much. Both Jeevatma and Paramatma are present in the body. What is their function? Do they control the activities of the 24 elements in the body or simply monitor their activities? So here the Jeevatma is described very nicely. The function and role of Jeevatma and Paramatma is very beautifully explained in the Mundaka Upanishad 3.1.1 as Dva Supagna Sayuja Sakhaya Samanam Vriksham Parishasvajate. That the Jeevatma and Paramatma can be compared to two birds seated on the tree of the body, and one of them, ekam ashnati, the Jeevatma is completely engrossed in trying to taste the various fruits of the tree. So it is the Jeevatma who is the kshetrajna, who is involved in trying to till the field of 24 elements and trying to exploit it, trying to enjoy it, trying to take the fruits of that kshetra. So all that is done only by the Jeevatma. So the controller, so-called Purusha of this Prakriti is the Jeevatma. But although he is trying to exploit Prakriti, nature to his advantage, the fact is, as explained in 13.22, he is not, the Jeevatma is not the real Purusha. He is a dummy or duplicate Purusha, because Purushaha Prakritistho. Although he is trying to exploit Prakriti, the kshetra, yet he is under the control and dominion of material nature of Prakriti. Whereas the real Purusha is Paramatma, and his role is, as I explained earlier in 13.23, that Upadrashta, Anumanta cha, Bharta, Bhokta, Maheshwaraha. So Paramatma is the overseer, the approver, the enjoyer, the Supreme Lord. So he is the actual controller. The next question by Jagdish Raoji. Hare Krishna, each karmendriya and jnanendriya have separate Devatas governing them, like sun for eyes, Vishnu for feet, etc. Could you throw some light on this aspect, Guruji? So yes, actually there are three things here. One is Adhibhutam, Adhyatmam and Adhidaivam. So this is very elaborately explained, especially in the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and especially in chapter number 10. The aspects of Adhibhutam, Athadhyatmam, Adhidaivam iti Prabhuhu. So how these three things are interconnected? Adhyatma means the self, Adhibhutam are the material elements, and Adhidaivam is the controlling deity of each of these Adhibhutas. So just like we have the description in the Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 2 chapter 10 from text number 16 onwards, it explains how the various adhidaivas, the controlling deities, just like the sun is the controlling deity or adhidaiva of the chakshu, of eyes. Likewise, the nose, the smell is controlled by vayu, air. The faculty of speech, the karmendriya of talking, is controlled by agni, by fire. Vivakshor mukhato chainam agnirvag vyahritam tayoho. And in this way, all the various adhibhutas, adhyatmas and the adhidaiva, the controlling deities of all the karmendriyas and all the jnanendriyas have been explained. So they are like just like we have, whole building is set up by the engineer, by the carpenter, by the plumber, and in case of any defect, we again call the carpenter, the engineer, and they set right things. Likewise, our material body is designed by Prakriti in the womb of nature under the direction of the Adhidaivas, the Surya, Chandra, Vayu, Agni, and all these Adhidaivas. And later they function also under the control of the Adhidaivas. So, but the supreme Adhidaiva is explained in chapter 8 of the Bhagavad Gita to be the Virat Rupa Purushascha Adhidaivatam. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 8.3, 8.4 while answering to Arjuna's questions that, and that Purusha who is the supreme Adhidaiva of even all the Adhidaivas of the Indriyas, of all the Indriyas, is explained by the Acharyas that Purusha is the Virat Rupa, the Vishwarupa, and the Vishwarupa is the material temporary form of the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. So he is, Krishna is the ultimate supreme Adhidaiva of everything. The final question by Dr. Shastriji. Prabhuji Namaskara, you mentioned that kshetra plus one kshetrajna Jeevatma plus the second kshetrajna is Paramatma. Jeevatma itself is Supreme Lord and controlled by him. Then what is the specific role of Paramatma? Like the above equation, can we also say that the whole universe is kshetra and Supreme Lord is kshetrajna? So first of all, in the Bhagavad Gita chapter 13, it is very, very clearly explained about the distinction, the difference between the Jeevatma and Paramatma being two separate kshetrajnas. And the very, very important word which is used in 13.3 is that first in 13.2 Krishna says idam shariram kaunteya kshetram ityabhidhiyate etad yo vetti tam prahuhu kshetrajnah iti tad vidaha. The knower of the body is called kshetrajna, and that is the individual consciousness or the Jeevatma. And in 13.3 another kshetrajna is explained as kshetrajnam cha api mam vidhi. Krishna says, I am the second, and the word cha is very, very important. Cha means and also. It does not say that the same kshetrajna as Jeevatma is the Paramatma. They are distinct, different, and another category. So that another kshetrajna is the Paramatma, and the difference between the Jeevatma and Paramatma is also mentioned very clearly that Sarva Kshetreshu Bharata, the Paramatma is the super knower, the super consciousness, the super soul of all the kshetras, whereas the Jeevatma is the limited Anu Atma, the Anu Kshetrajna. He is the knower only of the individual kshetra. So that is the difference. Now, what is the role, specific role of Paramatma? I have repeatedly told in this session earlier that he is the Upadrashta, Anumanta, Bharta, Bhokta, Maheshwaraha. He is the overseer, Paramatma is the approver, Paramatma is the Supreme Lord, Master, and the Supreme Enjoyer. we can definitely say that the whole universe is the kshetra, and the kshetrajna of the universe is the Paramatma, specifically the third form of Vishnu, as explained in Vishnu Purana. Vishnostu trini rupani purushakhyanyatho viduhu. The third rupa is called Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, and Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, he is the kshetrajna of the entire universe, as explained also in Brahma Samhita as Andantarastha Paramanuchayantarastham. The Paramatma is the super soul of the atom as well as the entire Brahmanda or the universe. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.